What's going on, everybody? Welcome to We Are Critics. We have a very, very special guest here today, man. This guy, listen, he's doing it all right now. Doing it all. You guys might know him as the creator of the toys that made us and also the movies that made us, but he has so much more going on. And of course, I brought my man Mayhem Madness here because the toy guy got to talk toys. So without further ado, guys, let's introduce Brian Volk-Weiss. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm all right. How are you, gentlemen?
I'm doing good.
I'm good. I am good. So listen, so you have the how do we say this? Nacelle company?
Nacelle.
Nacelle.
You just called yourself out because that means you're not a Trekkie.
I'm not a Trekkie. I'm a Star Wars guy.
I'm a Star Wars guy too, but I cover both sides. But yeah, the engines on the Enterprise are called nacelles.
Oh, I got you.
And the days of being able to copyright Universal or Paramount, like you would not believe what's been taken. I even thought before Nacelle of calling the company Promontory Point Productions, that was taken. so Nacelle it is. Nacelle it is.
Nacelle is smooth. It's sweet. I like the sound of it, and I like how it rolls off the tongue. So I want to talk to you because you've been doing this since 2017. You've got the toys that made us. You've got the movies that made us. Now you're doing productions with Disney Plus. Was this always the plan? Like,
yeah.
So you always want to start a production company, but it was always revolved around like the nerd culture and the geek culture. You're like
not a production company. That wasn't the goal. I mean, the goal was to build a studio from the ground up. Most people come out here, to LA, they want to be directors or writers or something. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to build a studio. And that's, I don't know if you know this or not. It always cracks me up when people don't know. As you said, we do a lot of stuff. So some people know different things about us. We're the biggest producer of stand-up comedy, at least in the United States. Did you know that?
I saw that too. You worked with Bill Bellamy, right?
Yes, I have indeed. I love Bill. Yeah. My favorite thing is I'll get an email or a DM or something from people that are like nerds, and they'll be like, dude, why is your name on a Bill Burr special? So, which cracks me up because 99% of my career has been stand-up. Mm-hmm. I'm bad at math. I guess that leaves 1%. But yeah, so we built a library of stand-up specials that we own, and that's helped finance basically all the other crap we're doing.
Wow. And now you have this series revolving around toy stores.
Yes.
And then which came first? Because now you have the toy company and then you have the toy store series. So which one where did the passion come from? Like, which one was first? Was it the toy store show or the toy company?
So, okay. A toy store near you came first. That happened 100% because of COVID. I was talking to my local what I call my home store, Blast from the Past. And, nobody alive has been through a quarantine before. I don't know about that. It's probably 500 people that have planet-wide. So like, I'm talking to the owner and I'm like, well, what happens like in a quarantine? And he was like, well, I think my income goes to zero, but my costs don't go down. And I was like, oh, okay. Like kind of nonchalant about it, But then I was in the car and I'm like, that's really fucked up. What can we do to help? And I'm like, we make TV shows. So I called Billy Galaxy that owns one of my favorite toy stores in the world. He's up in Portland, Oregon. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, I'm like, hey, if we tell you what to shoot, if we give you a list, will you shoot everything and then we'll turn it into a TV show? And he said yes. So we did that with him. And then we sent out a blast. We got a lot of stores, well over, at this point now it's over 200. But at the time we were looking for 20. we ended up deciding on 50 stores that we're going to cover. We've already had 20 episodes there. The best way to watch it, I think, in my opinion, is on Amazon. Yeah. And then, you know, we're in post on season 5 right now, and we'll see if we do it. But my goal is to do 50 episodes.
Wow.
How long does it take for each episode?
It's a great question. I'll be honest with you. Some episodes take a month. Some episodes take 4 months. And the reason is, you know, all the stores are shooting their own footage. And a lot of these, so we get the footage and then we edit it, we color correct it, audio, graphics, whatever. Yeah. And then we distribute it. Okay. But they're doing all the shooting. And so we get a rough cut and I'm like, okay, this is great, but we need X, Y, Z. And like what a lot of people don't understand about these stores, like they're not just like mom and pop, they're literally mom and pop. Like nobody's working there except the mom and the pop. So then you got me jumping around. I need more footage. I need more footage. And like sometimes they could do it quickly. Sometimes they can't, which of course I understand and I respect. So a lot of it comes down to that. Then once we lock the cut, it goes to the lawyers. Then the lawyers take forever. By the way, I respect the stores being slow. Come on, lawyers, hurry up. Hey, the lawyers fucking take forever. But then once the lawyers clear it, then we're locked.
So you're essentially turning these hardworking individuals into their own label as producers. I mean, they're producing their content for you.
Stars, everything, and the majority of the profit goes to the stores. Wow. The vast majority.
Wow. I want to ask you another question before my man jumps in, because I know he's got some great toy questions, but like where is the passion behind all of this, like nerdism or geekdom? Like, where does that come from? Like, why did you decide I want to help, you know, showcase what goes on in these toy stores, or I want to talk about these movies we grew up on, or these toys? Like, where does that come from?
Well, it's really, it's such a great question. And it's really funny. It's like the world changed. Like I've always been like this. Again, I don't know how old you guys are. I'm almost 46. Like this shit was not cool. It became cool thanks to this guy named Iron Man and that film. To me, that's like the BCAD moment of when like people like me, or if I had to guess, people like us, we won. Yeah. So like, and I'll by the way, forgetting about Iron Man for a second, I know definitively the moment where I'm like, we fucking won. And I'm driving down the street. I'm in Los Feliz, that's a neighborhood out here. And I see this little girl, 10 at the oldest. She may have been 8. And she's wearing a Bib Fortuna t-shirt waiting for the bus. Wow. Not Darth Vader, not Princess Leia, not Han Solo. Wow. She's literally, this 8 to 10-year-old girl is wearing a, like, what is he, the 490th most popular character?
Wow.
And I'm literally driving by her and I'm like, if that girl voluntarily is wearing a Bib Fortuna t-shirt at that age, let's just say the jocks when I was in high school lost and my table won, which was the uncool table.
Yeah.
But at the time it's called the nerd table or the fuck you table. So, yeah. So I was trying to sell toys that made us for 7 years before Netflix bought it. And that was the luckiest break in the world that they bought. It was as random as it got. And then because Toys That Made Us did so well, and they were kind of shocked too. Netflix was like, what else you got? That led to the movies that made us. And then as those shows became more and more popular, then Disney Plus and everybody else was like, hey, what can you make for us? And I was like, quite a bit.
It's when they realized nostalgia is a cool thing. I just want to thank you for all of that. I mean, because literally, like I said, it is our childhood as well. We are in the same age range. So it is always refreshing to see the content coming from your camp. And yeah, I know my guy feels the same way. So I know he has some questions that he wanted to ask you about the toy industry. So I'm going to pass it off to my guy, my colleague here.
Fire away.
So I see that you have a very nice collection in the back of you right now. But I was more wondering, what did you collect more when you were younger, when you were a kid?
So it was primarily Star Wars. Then I guess second place maybe is a tie with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Honorable mention for Batman.
Okay, wow. You're talking about like the Kenner stuff, Batman?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I ate up Batman, even like Mego, you name it.
I'm a huge Batman fanatic.
Well,
so
I mean, I'll tell you something that some people are surprised by. He is the only superhero I'm into. Like,
wow.
You know, by the way, the way I got Star Trek that you can see over there, I got 2 full-on Batman shelves and then a Bat vehicle shelf. It's a shelf of only vehicles connected to Batman. But like for example, I loved the first Wonder Woman movie. Not so much the second. But so now I got like 3 or 4 Wonder Woman. I got like Superman from The Dark Knight Returns.
Okay.
Like I love Black Widow. I got 1 Black Widow. But that's kind of like I got Valkyrie, from Thor, but I don't have Thor. I'm just looking at my shelf right now. You know what I mean? So so there's little things I'll gravitate to, but de facto, I will buy it, is Batman.
Same with me. Me.
If
it's Batman, I'm all over it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I had a question about the toy company itself. Can you elaborate on the plans for the toy company? Like, what is it that you guys what do you plan to take over next?
So we're doing 2 things. We are buying kind of busted copyrights that nobody wants and revitalizing them. And then we're also doing some original stuff that I can't talk about yet because it's not public, but we bought RoboForce copyright. We bought Power Lords copyright, Garloo, a couple other things. Then we hired this genius named David Vonner. If you've seen the toys that made us, he's in that. That's how we met. And David and you can see this already online for RoboForce, but my God, wait till you see what he's done with Power Lords and other things. But he's just been basically taking these kind of weird, kind of strange figures from RoboForce and making them beyond brilliantly badass. So, and we've already announced we're doing that. In a couple weeks, we're putting the pre-sale up for RoboForce. So everybody will see what we're offering, price point, all that stuff. Wow. And then about a month after that, we'll announce our second line. A month. So hopefully every 4 to, I don't want to give Vonner and other people a heart attack. So let me say every 4 to 8 weeks, we should be announcing our next line.
Okay.
That's in theory.
Okay.
It's complicated business. I'm learning it as we go.
So I believe with the whole pandemic, I feel with the pandemic, you're starting to see a lot more people collecting. I believe that since we were stuck inside the house, all the collectors came out of the woodworks now. But do you think that could maybe hopefully bring back Toys R Us or KB Toys, big toy stores that have shut down since?
I want to tell you a cool story, but of course I'll answer your question first. I know the people that own Toys R Us, and I know the guy that owns KB. If I had to guess, I hate saying this, but to do it right, you got to jump into the deep end. Like you can't open a store here, a store that, like, you can't do that.
You got to bring that presence.
But because like what a lot of people don't understand about Toys R Us is the superpower of Toys R Us that we never got to see and we took for granted. And it was only when it was gone that I understood this. Their superpower was their distribution. That is gone. It's been shut down. So it's not just about replicating the stores. You literally have to build dozens of warehouses, trucks, everything to allow Toys R Us to function the way it did. I hope so much that happens. I just don't know if it will. The comp that I always think of is Pan Am. Like, yes, there's Pan Am right now. And if you happen to be the luckiest person ever, you could see one of the 3 planes they have. And they're not even owned by Pan Am. They're owned by some company that licensed the name Pan Am. But that's not Pan Am. Pan Am at one point had like 1,000 planes and they flew all over the world, 10,000 flights a day. So like I said, I'm bad at math, so do not question my math. But I want to tell you, a cool story about what you said about the pandemic. So, I'm friends with probably about 24 toy store owners nationwide. Every owner I spoke to, so like COVID started like around March of 2020. Every owner that I spoke to in May or June was worried about going out of business. By September, every single one of those stores said they were having the best year in the history of the store. And that's because of what you said, Nick. It's like everybody went crazy for nostalgia.
Yeah, everybody came out. Everybody's collecting. Comic book collectors come out of nowhere all of a sudden. I feel it's because everybody took a time to like sit down now and think about what you want to do. Like besides COVID, everyone was on the rush 24/7. But now when you're stuck in your house, your mind's going, and a lot of people started, hey, let me get back into collecting. Let me get back into comic books. Let me get back into this stuff. So I feel like in a way, it kind of, as bad as as COVID was, it kind of made everybody sit down, relax, and start collecting again. I know, at least for me, it did.
By the way, not just again, like for the first time, like that. So Blast from the Past, like I said, my home store, Burbank, California. I swear to God, before COVID, I had never, ever been online at that store and had more than one person ahead of me. And I've been going there 8-9 years. Starting around last year, when my lovely state government started to chill out a little bit and you could leave your house, you guys were pretty bad too, Massachusetts. But not as bad as us. But that being said, dude, anytime I go now, there's 2 to 5 people online, sometimes 8 to 10. I am never, like I used to be in that, I would say 10% of the time I went to the store, I was the only person in the store. That has not happened once in the last 12 months. There's at least 5 to 10 people in the store every time I go.
Yeah, it's been
crazy. That's new collectors. That's new.
Yeah.
That's not people who quit collecting coming back. It's both.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a big surge in collection. Definitely. We victims of that. Like we've been out there ourselves, even online, eBay, everything, man. It's been really insane. Did the pandemic affect you guys at all in any way as far as like production or shutting down sets or anything like that?
And I'm not saying this to be humble, I'm saying this because it's true. We were so lucky. To say that we walked in between the raindrops, that is what we did. And not because we were brilliant at walking, because by the grace of God, the rain missed us.
Yeah.
All of our shows were either in advanced post-production or advanced or preliminary pre-production. So
Mm.
when the whole world went crazy, nothing got shut down because everything was either too early or too late to shut down. So we didn't have anything. And then our distribution, and I hate saying this because obviously a lot of people died. Our distribution was helped massively because people were home so much, watching more content than ever.
Yeah. Because I believe I found a couple of I think the movies that made us. I found that one over during the pandemic. Pretty sure there was another one that you guys dropped that I didn't even know was coming, and I just saw it. I was like, another one. Got excited about that. Before we let you go, because I know you got to head out. What is coming that's not already announced? Do you have any future, any new? I know Nick was wondering if you had any more something that made us coming out, whether it was
like
fashion or something like that,
or comics or anything like that. I love the series. I love the toys that made us.
First of all, thank you. It's to this day, it's still very surreal to hear. We do. I hate to be vague, but that's all I can tell you. We do.
Okay, that's cool. As long as we know there's more coming.
There's more coming. Come on, hit me with one more toy. We still got a little time. I'm loving this. Hit me some more. Give me some more toy questions.
Oh, I actually have a question about a property that I need to see come back. When I was a kid, I was a huge Brave Star fan. And a lot of people that I talk to don't even know what it was. But it was a pretty cool cartoon and a pretty cool show. Any interest in Brave Star or know anything about Brave Star that's coming?
Well, I know all about it. So first of all, I got to ask you respectfully, when was the last time you saw it?
Well, I haven't been able. I know I could download the episodes, but I haven't gone that far to do that. So the last time I actually saw a Brave Star cartoon might have been on YouTube when I was watching one of those blended theme song intros for cartoons.
That was one of the strangest, not just cartoons. That is one of the strangest shows in the history of the United States. You should watch. I mean, it's literally the greatest example I can think of where you sit there watching it and you're like, what the fuck were these people smoking? Like it is crazy. That being said, the Mattel Corporation owns it. And we actually have spoken to them about it because they do license sometimes.
Okay.
And for some reason, there's some legal issue with it or something, and we're not able to get access to it yet.
Okay. Yet. I like that you said yet.
You noticed that.
Yeah, no, that's me. Nick, you got anything else to go?
Yeah, I got something. Would you think that, like toy sets I know when I was younger, like the Kenner Batmans, we used to have like play sets. They used to go all out for stuff like that. You don't really see that a lot more now with like action figures. You see Marvel Legends, but I know me, I collect Marvel Legends. I wouldn't just go buy my kid a $20 Marvel Legend. Like it's different. I feel like it's different now. It's not as fun as the old toys used to be. Like we don't get play sets anymore. We don't get the cars. We don't get the bat caves. It's just, do you feel like toys have definitely changed in that way?
No, I don't think toys have changed. No offense to the three of us, but we have changed. So like, to your point about Brave Star, if that show premiered today exactly the way it did when you were a kid, I mean, you would turn it off in 6 seconds. It's true. You've changed. I've changed. It's like when you're little, you don't have credit card debt. You don't know what STDs are. You've never had an STD. Like you don't have to worry about a mortgage or rent. So of course, everything seems great. Now we got real responsibilities. So it makes the world look different to our brains. And that's why it's easy to say, oh, these new toys suck. Play sets, and I am a play set aficionado. I got a USS Flag right there. I got the Batman set you referenced. I got it right there. Like I have a Terradrome. I got the big, what's it called? The Technodrome from
Technodrome.
Turtle.
Oh yeah, Turtles.
There, like I love play sets. Here's what I've noticed. I got 3 kids. I have my older son he's about to turn 7. About 3 years ago, Spin Master put out this Batman, for lack of a better word, robot.
I have that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The black one?
The black big one?
Well, here's the problem with the word big. Because when I bought that, I couldn't believe they made it. And I was like, I mean, it's got to be 18 inches tall. It comes with a remote control.
Yeah.
You can make it transform. It shoots missiles.
Yeah.
That's a play set in 2019. And I bought it for my son. And I'm like, this is nuts. Like, this is like the flag. Like, this is the modern flag. For $80, you get a 2 foot tall, a 1.5 foot tall robot that transforms, drives around. It shoots missiles from the remote. Did you see what they put out last year?
No.
Dude, they put out another one. Dude, this thing must be 3.5 feet tall. It's $110.
Wow.
It does even more. And
wow.
I'm like, is the next one going to be 5 feet? And like those are play sets. My daughter is into this thing called, which I love. Like if I were little, I would play with them. Oh my God, I have something stuck in my head. It's all these animals. It comes from Japan. You look at them, you think they're British, but they're Japanese. All the characters, I cannot believe I can't think of the name.
I'm trying to think because my daughter probably is into it too.
It's all animals. So like dogs, cats, pandas, pigs, and they come with these play sets that are the most detailed thing. Like you'll literally buy like a pizza parlor and it comes with like 100 accessories, like the most detailed calico critters.
Okay,
and like,
I never heard of that one.
By the way, I would buy them to have like G.I. Joe come through the window, but like I wouldn't be having the pandas playing with each other. But they're brilliant. If you have it, even for like a boy, like they're wonderful. They're the most detailed things. And here's the trick: if you get into them, they always end up eventually in the bargain bin.
Okay.
So like, I'm constantly getting like $80 sets for like 18 to 25 bucks.
Wow. Calico.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go, Nick. More toys. More toys for the Brian, man, we want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us, man. It's been an honor, man. Like I'm having a blast. I know my boy Nick, we're having a blast talking. Can you let everybody know where they can find you? Where they can find the next thing with Nacelle? I
personally am on Instagram, believe it or not. I'm also on Facebook, but I don't know. I just love Instagram. Yeah, the company, the Nacelle company, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Snap, you name it, TikTok. So we're everywhere. But for me, Instagram. Guys, and you can check us out, wearecritics.com. This is where you're going to find this interview and a lot more. We got toy reviews from my man Mayhem Madness and a lot of pop culture news, movie reviews, and television reviews. So we'll check you guys out later. Thanks for stopping by, man. Thank you for having me. This was fun.